A Midnight Heart-to-Heart by Voldy365. Chapter 1. I awoke, opening my eyes slowly. I glanced at the window and noticed the moon was still up as it shone brightly into the room. I got briefly upset that I woke up in the middle of the night, but I quickly relaxed as I felt a warmth next to me and remembered what had transpired the previous day. Yesterday I had finally confessed my love to my longtime crush, Princess Twilight Sparkle, and now we are already sleeping together. Admittingly, things escalated quite quickly. You see, Twilight Sparkle is a pony, a denizen of the world I inadvertently found myself in some time ago. How and why I ended up here, I will perhaps never find out, and the details of it don't really matter to me, as I don't intend to ever return. One might think that being ripped away from Earth and sent into a different universe would be quite a harrowing experience. But not me. The reason being the world I was so mysteriously displaced to is one I am all too familiar with, and quite frankly, always dreamed of visiting. It is the world of Equestria, originating in the popular animated series My Little Pony. The odds of me ending up here, in a world I once thought fictional, are astronomical. Even more so seeing how everything is exactly as seen in the show. I was always a believer of the multiverse theory, and by logic, if there are infinite universes with infinite possibilities, even fictional worlds and characters have to exist somewhere. When I spoke to Twilight of this theory, she agreed, and to my disbelief actually confirmed it true. She told me how Princess Luna, one of the diarchs of Equestria, has visited other worlds in the past along with her sister and her sister's teacher and mentor, Staswell the Bearded, but said that the arcane transdimensional travel spells have been lost to time and long forgotten by even the princesses themselves. Before we knew it, the conversation escalated to us discussing similar confusing scientific theories, and then proceeding to spend hours talking about everything. She was always one of my favorite characters in the show, but that moment was when I first began truly falling in love with her. She's an incredibly intelligent mare. I can talk with her about anything, and she would always understand me. She always gets exactly what's on my mind. She's kind, loyal, and an amazing friend. Not to mention absolutely gorgeous, and her voice, such a beautiful sound, is quite hard to describe. And on top of everything, she can sing. Amazingly. As I lay in bed, one of Twilight's warm, soft wings was draped over me, the other resting under me. Her wings would be my favorite parts of her body, were it not for her subtle flanks and beautiful long legs, all four of which were holding me tightly. Her head was nestled under my chin, tilted to the side a bit so I wouldn't hurt myself on her horn. She was a bit shorter than me, the top of her horn reaching up to my chin when we stood up on her hind legs. The feeling of her warm body next to mine, coupled with being held in her strong embrace, is indescribable. I adore the feeling of safety she gives me, which is why when cuddling, I love being the little spoon. I began slowly running my fingers through her silky mane as the rising and falling of her chest, in tandem with her steady heartbeat, was slowly starting to put me back to sleep. Suddenly, I could feel her moving her head away from my neck.
"Hey, what time is it?"
she asked in a sleepy whisper. "It's still night. Sorry I woke you up," I replied quietly.
"It's fine. I'd love to cuddle some more. That ought to help us both go back to sleep,"
she teased. I giggled softly. "What an amazing idea," I said as half-jokingly as caressed her cheek. "Have I ever told you how much I love your wings?"
"You really do? When I first got them, it took me a long time to get used to them. They could be really annoying sometimes, but I'm glad someone likes them,"
she replied. I mean, how couldn't I? They're beautiful, gorgeous even, not to mention incredibly soft and warm. Plus, they feel really amazing wrapped around me like this.
Stop it! You're making me blush!
She said in fox anger, clearly a little bit embarrassed. I smiled. It's true. Plus, they make you look regal and powerful as heck. At that, she began slowly caressing my entire body with her wing, the sensation sending shivers up my spine. After a couple of minutes of this, I started giggling.
What is it?
Twilight asked, seeming confused. Nothing. I just remembered how I cried when you got your wings. I was so proud of you.
Aww, really?
She said.
That's so sweet.
Now it was my turn to blush. Our conversation made me start thinking about all the other incredible things Twilight has accomplished, and about how amazing she is. I was so lost in thought I didn't notice my heart rate speeding up.
Hey, why is your heart beating so fast? I mean, if anything, this should be relaxing. Is something wrong?
No, nothing's wrong. I was just thinking about you. I know we've only officially been together for a day, but I love you so very much, I answered. She kept silent, but I could feel her breathing get a little faster. I've liked you a lot long before I came to this world and actually met you. I've told you how back on Earth, Equestria only exists in fiction, in entertainment. Even then, watching your show, you were always my favorite character. I liked you because you were so smart and how you always managed to defeat all the villains with wit and camaraderie. Thanks to your friendship skills, you are practically the glue that holds your fellowship together. Another, perhaps depressing reason that I liked you is since you are an alicorn. You are immortal. I would never have to worry about losing you. You were literally like the perfect woman. I stopped talking as I could feel my neck getting wet. Are you crying? I asked, somewhat shocked.
I'm fine. It's just... I had no idea I meant this much to you. I had no idea I meant this much to anyone. I mean, I have 5 amazing friends who I know love me, but you're different.
She stopped talking to wipe her tears.
You accept me for who I am and love every part of me, and you get me. You get me completely.
She finished, softly nuzzling me. I do love every part of you, I said. You know, back on Earth, I didn't really have many friends, but I wasn't exactly lonely. I kinda liked being alone, being the introvert I am. I thought friendship and romantic relationships were a pointless distraction, especially the latter. But then I started watching your show, and by extension met you. Mind you, I still couldn't find myself a girlfriend. I liked you so much that I got myself a second pillow and started hugging it before going to sleep, pretending it's you. Every night. How pathetic is that? I finished, feeling a tinge of self-loathing.
It's not pathetic at all, she began reassuring me. Everyone gets lonely sometimes. As a filly studying under Celestia back in Canterlot, I was a little lonely myself. I had a couple of friends, but I was always too busy studying to hang out with them. I even missed my friend Moondancer's party, a party that was very special to her.
She stopped talking and let out a sigh. After a couple of seconds of pondering, she continued.
I was a complete introvert and totally focused on pursuing my academic career, so I certainly never even thought about colds. So, due to my total indifference to the matter, I was never depressed about it, and never needed a coping mechanism such as your pillow hugging. Your pillow hugging thing comforted you, did it not?
She asked me. Very much so, especially when I imagined you in place of it. She chuckled and finally concluded.
Then there's no reason to think any less of yourself for it.
She stopped to gently kiss me.
Because I surely don't.
I slightly shivered from the kiss and then thought about what she said for a bit. Finally, I answered. Perhaps you're right. And thank you for loving me despite all my weirdness. But still, if I was really that lonely, I could have manned up and asked to go out or something. Thankfully, though, now I finally have you. Lying here, right now, with the real you feels surreal and absolutely heavenly. She hugged me tighter and clambered over me to place a kiss on my forehead. In return, I pulled her even closer and kissed her sweet lips deeply.
I love you too, and I always will,
she told me lovingly, returning to rest her head below my chin. After a short while of enjoying each other's company, Twilight began talking again.
You said you'd never have to worry about losing me, but now when I think about it, I will lose you.
I sighed and sadly said, Yeah, I know. Let's not think about such things right now, even though it was me who brought it up. I'm sure you'll figure out some sort of spell or something in the future. If anyone can figure it out, it's you. She sighed deeply but seemed satisfied by this answer, judging from her ensuing silence. By the way, why are we having a heart-to-heart right now in the middle of the night? I laughed. We were trying to go back to sleep and then we began telling each other's life stories and pouring our souls out. She laughed as well.
I'm glad we did. Now just seemed like a good time, I guess. I mean, this is pretty much the only time we can talk in private, since Spike or the girls are always around.
She mused. Yeah, you're right. I guess we should go back to sleep, though. We have Pinky's congratulations on finally getting together party to attend tomorrow, after all. After that, we said our goodnights and slowly drifted back to sleep, comfortable in each other's loving embrace. Hello everyone, this is once again Comment Thomas Visual Pony, and once again I will remind you that you can support Pony&Wolf Productions through the links down in the description below. Every dollar is needed, it helps and is very much appreciated. There's a merch store, there are one-time donation links, there are Patreon links, whatever you wish is basically there, and you can become a channel member. And now let's get into the meat of this story. Oh my god! Give me an insulin pen, I guess I got diabetes. That is so sweet. Yeah, my love is laying on the bed right now, holding her phone and chuckling at me. And now she's shaking her head about my comments here. Do you have anything to say? Okay, she said love you. Yeah, this girl, I love her. And I think that's all I have to say here, because this is just a sweet story. See you guys in the next video. And as always, I hope that the story finds you well in body and mind.